Good morning and Sairam children, and welcome back once again. So children, in last class we have completed political science chapter number 3rd, that is electoral politics. Now in this class we are going to discuss new chapter. In this video we are going to discuss class 9th economics chapter number 3rd, that is poverty as a challenge. So basically this chapter deals with one of the most difficult challenges faced by independent India is poverty. So let's begin. So this chapter also helps to understand the multi-dimensional problem of poverty. So after discussing this multi-dimensional problem through examples, the chapter discusses the way poverty is seen in social science. Poverty trends in India and the world are illustrated through the concept of the poverty line. And then we will discuss causes of poverty as well as anti-poverty measures taken by the government are also discussed. So the chapter ends with the broadening the official concept of poverty into human poverty. Okay. Now let's understand what is poverty. Now in elements language we can say if we want to define poverty. So poverty it's vary from country to country. Actually students, if we move in one nation to another nation, so there is no fixed and one definition that we can say or explain, or we can say that can help you to understand the poverty. For example, a person who does not own a car in United States, right, could be considered a poor, right? A person who does not own a car in United States, that person consider a poor. But on the other hand, car in India is considered to be a luxury. Understand? Right? So basically in United States, a person who does not own a car, so that person considered a poor. But in India, a person who has a car considered to be a luxury. Okay, now what is poverty? So as I said, poverty is vary from country to country. But in simple terms, we can say that poverty is the lack of basic human needs such as nutrition, healthcare, education, clothing and shelter. So the availability of basic three amenities. First one is shelter. Food and clothing are the essential parameters for any individual. Is it clear what is poverty? It can be defined as the inability to satisfy minimum human needs concerning food, clothing, housing, education, health, etc. etc. Okay. Now, we comes to India. So you have a kind of huge population which lives below poverty line. BPL, below poverty line. In our daily life, we come across many people who we think are poor. They could be landless laborers in villages or people living in overcrowded jhuggies in cities. Now, they could be also beggars. So, we see poverty all around us. So, as I said, basically when we comes to India, so you have a kind of huge population which lives below poverty line. So, nearly one third. So, nearly one third of world's population, nearly one third of world's population lie in India. In fact, every fourth person in India is poor. Clear? In fact, every fourth person in India is poor. This means roughly 260 million or 26 crore people in India live in poverty. This also means that India has the largest single concentration of the poor in the world. And this illustrates the seriousness of challenge. Is it clear? Okay. Now, do you know basically Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal are the states which are badly affected by poverty. And however, other sites like the Maharashtra and southern states, these states which are flourishing well in comparison to the northern state. So again, we can say that India is the only nation which is single largest concentration on poor in the world. Clear? Now these states which are badly affected by poverty, these states are also called Bimaru states. Now let's discuss two cases of poverty, right? So first case belongs to the urban area and the second case belongs to the rural area. So first urban case, story of Ram Sharan. So 33-year-old Ram Sharan works as a daily wage laborer in the wheat flour mill. So he just get around rupees 1500 a month. The money he get is not enough to sustain a family of 6 members, including himself, his wife and 4 children. Even he also send money home to his old parents who live in a village near Ramgarh. So Ram Sharan lives in a one-room rented house in a crowded urban settlements, and his wife Shanta Devi also works as a part-time maid in a few houses, and she managed to earn around rupees 800. So they manage a meal of a day, meal of dal and rice twice a day, but it's never enough for all of them. His elder son works as a helper in a tea shop to supplement the family income, and he earned around rupees 300. His 10-year-old daughter takes care of the younger siblings. So none of the children, none of them go to school, none of the children go to school and have only 2 pairs of second-hand clothes. Second thing is the children have no health care when they fall ill, right? So this is the story of Ram Sharan. Now the second case belongs to the rural area. Story of Lakha Singh. Lakha Singh belongs to a small village near Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. His family doesn't own any land, so they do odd jobs for the big farmers. Now at time they just get paid rupees 50 for a hard day's work, and the family of 8 cannot always manage meals a day. The women of the family spend the day chopping fodders, collecting firewood in the field. So, if we talk about the Lakha Singh, so he had started earning when he was 10 years old. His father, a TB patient, passed away 2 years ago due to the lack of medication. Even his mother now suffers from the same disease. Although the village has a primary school, but Lakha never went there. So as I said, he started earning when he was just 10. New clothes are bought once in a few years. Even soap and oil are a luxury for the family. So these two cases, that means the story of Ram Sharan and the story of Lakha Singh, illustrate many dimensions of poverty. Now what do they show? They show that poverty means hunger and lack of shelter. Clear? Poverty means hunger and lack of shelter. So It also is a situation in which parents are not able to send their children to school, or a situation where sick people cannot afford treatment, right? Second thing is poverty also means lack of clean water and sanitation facilities. Now, it can also means, we can say that, lack of a regular job. It also means lack of regular job at a minimum decent level. Now, above all, it means living with a sense of helplessness. Poor people are in a situation in which they are ill treated at almost every place, in farms, factories, government offices, hospitals, railway stations, etc. Obviously, nobody would like to be live in poverty. So one of the biggest challenge of independent India has been to bring millions of its people out of abject poverty. Basically, Mahatma Gandhi always insisted that India would be truly independent only when the poorest of its people become free of human suffering. Now, move on to the next topic, poverty as seen by social scientists. Right. So basically, since poverty has many facets, social scientists look at it through a variety of indicators. Now, some of which are as like first of all, usually the indicators used relate to the levels of income and consumption. Now, other social indicators which can be used, for example, illiteracy level, right? Poverty is looked through other social indicators like illiteracy level, lack of general resistance due to the malnutrition, lack of access to healthcare, lack of job opportunity, lack of access to safe drinking water and sanitation. Clear? So, malnutrition means a state of poor nutrition can result from insufficient or unbalanced diet. Okay, so poverty is looked through other social indicators like illiteracy level, lack of general resistance due to the malnutrition, lack of access to healthcare, lack of job opportunities, lack of access to safe drinking water and sanitation. So, analysis of poverty based on social exclusion and vulnerability is now becoming very common among social scientists, right? Okay, so let's first understand the concept of social exclusion and the vulnerability. Okay, now let's understand about what is social exclusion and vulnerability. So, social exclusion. Basically, according to this concept, poverty must be seen in terms of poor having to live only in poor surroundings with other poor people, right? And they all were excluded from enjoying social equality of better off people in better surrounding. So basically, it can be both a cause as well as a consequence of poverty. So it is mainly a process. So social exclusion means it is mainly a process through which individuals or groups are excluded from facilities, benefits, and opportunities that others enjoy. Like, for example, caste system in India, right? For example, caste system in India. So the caste system in India, which people belonging to certain caste are excluded from equal opportunity. So is it clear? Social exclusion means it is a concept through which individuals or groups are excluded from social facilities, benefits and opportunities that others enjoy. Now, next we have vulnerability, right? So basically, vulnerability, it describe the greater probabilities of certain individuals and communities like widow, physical handicapped, backward caste of becoming poor, or we can say that remaining poor in the coming years. So, vulnerability is determined by the options available to different communities for finding an alternative living in terms of assets, education, health, and job opportunities. It is also analyzed on the basis of greater risk these groups face at the time of natural disasters. Basically, additional analysis is made up of their social and economic ability to handle these risks. So, vulnerability means it basically describes the greater probability of being more adversely affected when bad times come. So is it clear? Vulnerability means greater probability of certain community to remain poor in coming years. Now, next we have poverty line, right? So let's understand how poverty line is estimated in India. So first understand what is poverty line. So poverty line means it is used as a measure of absolute poverty, right? The poverty line is used as the measure of absolute poverty. So BPL, that means below poverty line, is a line which demarcates the people who are living below the poverty line from those who are living above the poverty line. So is it clear what is poverty line? So poverty line is used as the measure of absolute poverty. Now, how the poverty line is estimated in India? So basically, uh, there are the two methods to estimate poverty line in India. You have a various definitions that have come up over the time period, right? So the common method used to measure poverty is based on first income and second consumption of calories. Clear? The common method which is used to measure poverty, it is on the basis of first, it is based on the income or the consumption level. So a person is considered poor if his or her income or consumption level falls below a given minimum level necessary to fulfill basic needs. Now the present formula for food requirement while estimating the poverty line is based on the desired calorie requirement. Okay, so first, based on consumption of calories. So based on calories, the accepted average calorie requirement in India is 2400 calories per person per day in rural areas, right? And 2100 calories per person per day in urban areas. Clear? So based on calories, 24 calories per day for rural areas and 2100 calories in urban areas would be a optimum, since basically rural people required more physical work to be done, so they need more calorie consumption. Now next is based on income. So based on income, basically under income method, a minimum per capita income 859, right, for urban areas and 672 for rural areas approx for the year 2010-11 is fixed. So basically, if any family has less than this fixed income, so it is considered as below poverty line, right? It is considered as below poverty line. And basically this method is used to distribute food at subsidized price through the PDS. PDS, that means public distribution system. So is it clear? So as I said, since people living in rural areas, So most of them, they engage themselves in more physical work. Calorie requirements in rural areas are considered to be higher than urban areas. Now, just tell me children, do you think that the present methodology of poverty estimation is appropriate? No, actually the present methodology of poverty estimation is not appropriate. It is only a quantitative concept. It's capture only a limited part of what poverty really means to the people. It is about a minimum subsistence level of living rather than a reasonable level of living. Many scholars advocate that we must broaden the concept into human poverty and the other aspects like education, shelter, health, job, self-confidence, equality, etc. should also be included while calculating poverty. Okay. Now, the next is estimate of poverty in India, poverty estimation. So, here is the table that showing the estimation of poverty in India, right? So, it is clear from this table that there is a substantial decline in poverty ratio in India from about 45% in 1993 to 1904 to 37% in 2004 and 2005. So the proportion of people below poverty line further came down to about 22% in 2011 and 12. So if the trend continues, so people below poverty line may come down to less than 20% in the next few years. And although the percentage of people living under poverty declined in the earlier 2 decades, 1973 to 1993, the number of poor declined from 407 million in 2004-2005 to 270 million in 2011-12 with an average annual decline of 2.2 percentage points during 2004-5 to 2011-2012. Clear? So this is the estimation of poverty in India. So that's it for today. This chapter we will continue in next video, right? So till then, take care. Bye and have a nice day.